Gel electrophoresis. So today we are going to discuss about the gel electrophoresis. With this process we are going to estimate the size of DNA. Now the gel electrophoresis, here we are using agarose gel. This is the most effective way of separating the DNA fragments of varying sizes, and the sizes ranging from 100 base pair to 25 kilo base pairs. Now agarose, from where it is we are getting it, agarose is isolated from the seaweeds, red algae, that is of genus Gelidium gracilaria, and consists of repeated agarose subunits. Now during gelation what is happening, the agarose polymer associated non-covalently and form a network of a bundle whose pore size determine the gel's molecular saving properties. So like this, it is a network, meshwork of the gel in which the DNA molecule will be trapped. The use of agarose gel electrophoresis revolutionized the separation of DNA, and prior to adaptation was this, only the gradient centrifugation was the way for the separation. Now for the separation, it is loaded in the wells, and then we are everybody is aware that DNA, it is a negatively charged because of the presence of phosphate backbone. So like electrophoresis, yes, before we start for the process we should know about the electrophoresis. What is electrophoresis? Electrophoresis is the movement of the ions, charged ions, in presence of electric field. So we all know in this experiment, as it is a gel electrophoresis, agarose gel electrophoresis, so gel is agarose, but electrophoresis means the movement of charged ions will be there, migration of charged ions will be there. DNA itself is a charged ion, it is a negatively charged ion because of the presence of the negatively charged phosphate group. Now, when the field is applied here during the experiment, what will happen? The DNA fragments will migrate to positively charged anode. So because of on the basis of the size, the movement will be there, means, and the movement or the distance traveled of the DNA bands will be inversely proportional to the size, means lighter the weight, more it will move, heavier the molecule, heavier the DNA, less it will move. Okay, so the bands we will obtain like that. Okay, so rate of migration of DNA will be determined by the following. First is the size of DNA molecule, exactly as we have discussed. Second is the agarose concentration. As we have seen, the pore size will be determined by the concentration of agarose, whatever we are making. So if the concentration is more, the mesh will be, pore size will be smaller. So then the smaller molecule of DNA can be trapped here also. Third point is DNA conformation. Fourth is the voltage applied. Generally we apply 5 volt, okay, but if we increase the voltage, then the migration will be rapid. Okay, but for neat result we apply 5 volt per centimeter of the voltage. Now the presence of ethidium bromide, again it is a dye which we are using in the during the preparation of buffer, because it is going to show the bands under the this UV bands, that is we are going to observe. Okay, then the type of agarose which we are using and the electrophoretic buffer. Now after separation, DNA molecule will be visualized under UV light with appropriate dye. So by following this protocol, outcome of the result should be that we will be able to understand the mechanism by which DNA fragments are separated within the gel matrix, understand how conformation of DNA molecule will determine its mobility through the gel matrix. Yes, identify an agarose solution of appropriate concentration for their need. Yes. Now prepare an agarose gel for the electrophoresis of the DNA sample. Yes. Then we will be able to set up the gel electrophoresis apparatus with the power supply. We can select the appropriate voltage for the separation of the DNA fragment, that how much voltage is required. Okay, then we can understand the mechanism by which the ethidium bromide allows the visualization of the DNA band. Ethidium bromide is used to visualize the DNA bands when observed under the transilluminator using the UV light. Then determine the size of the separated fragments. Yes, so determination of the size of the DNA fragment is the most important objective of this experiment. because, and for determination we will see that we are using a ladder, means standard DNA bands we will also observe during the experiment. With taking the reference from those DNA, we can estimate the size of our sample DNA. So now one more thing is there. This experiment is the extension of the last experiment which we have done, in where we have prepared the genomic DNA, okay, from E. coli. Now we are going to observe that DNA only. Now what is the requirement? So above was all about the principle. Now we are going to see the requirement. Okay. So the requirement of the experiment. Now firstly we need agarose. So this is the agarose. Second, TAE buffer. TAE buffer, we need 1x TAE buffer. So here in the lab we have 50x. So we will add the dilution accordingly and we will prepare it. Okay. Then ethidium bromide, it is a dye which is used during the buffer formation, during agarose formation, and we are using this ethidium bromide here because ethidium bromide is going to have the property in which we can observe the band under UV light if we are adding it. Okay. Now DNA loading buffer. Then bromothymol blue. Bromothymol blue is also a loading dye. We are staining the DNA with that bromothymol blue. It is a loading dye and it will give the pattern on the movement of the DNA bands on the gel, agarose gel. We can see the movement with this dye. Means with the bands are colored bands, blue bands are observed. Those are because of this dye. So you can say it is a marker dye. Okay. Apart from that, DNA samples and the standards are required. So this is all about the requirement. Then come to, this is again I have shown it here, agarose, 50x TAE. And now, so before we move ahead, we should know the gels. There are two type of gels, agarose gel, and that is one is the polyacrylamide gel. Polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis is PAGE, in which the smaller size of network is there, so smaller pieces of DNA can be trapped here. Okay. This is ethidium bromide, again DNA sample, DNA loading buffer. Now for the requirement of the instrument, earlier we have seen the requirement of the chemicals. Now the instrument requirement. First is the electrophoresis chamber. This is the chamber. Second is the gel casting tray on which we are going to make our agarose gel, on which the DNA sample will run. Third is the sample combs. These are the combs which are going to prepare the well. They will make the well on the gels in which we are going to load the sample. Last class we have discussed this. Then the power supply, because it is a process of electrophoresis, so we need a power supply. So here from this we are going to provide the 5 volt per centimeter. This voltage we are going to provide, generally it is 5 volt only. And last equipment is the transilluminator. So transilluminator, under which we are going to see the bands by using the UV light. So this is the whole setup. Now coming next, the procedure which we are going to see, we are going to weigh the agarose gel, then we are going to add it into the TAE buffer and mix it. Okay. Now after mixing, what we are going to do, because it is not soluble in the TAE buffer, so to make it soluble we are going to keep it in the microwave for some time. Then we will dissolve the agarose in the buffer. Then we are adding the ethidium bromide dye in that. Then we will assemble the gel tray, and on that gel tray we will put the combs. Then we will pour the gel on that gel tray. Then it will be allowed to cool for some time, and once we know the agarose is there, it will be solidified. Okay. So after this, like this, we are going to pour the cooled buffer, so the cooled solution into the tray. This is agarose solution, and this is the gel casting tray in which we have already put the combs. Now once we have removed the combs, we have obtained these wells. Okay, so these are the places where we are loading our sample. Our sample is what? Our sample are DNA, and these DNA are, like you can see here, it is blue in color. So here we have used the bromothymol blue dye. So this is a marker dye, because when the gel will when this DNA sample will run on this gel, so we will see the bands of this color. So this is a marker dye which will show the movement of the DNA bands. Okay. Now this is the whole process of loading of the sample. Then we are going to fill this whole chamber with the TAE buffer, 1x TAE buffer. around 1 to 2 millimeter above the level. Okay, then we will, yeah, here you can see this hole is done. Then we are going and to put the electricity on. So what we have done here, cover the gel with 1x TIE buffer, add enough running buffer to cover the surface of the gel. This is the whole apparatus. We have covered it with the buffer. Then we have put on the power, and the cathode, the black lead should be near to the well, then the anode, that is the red leads. Okay, then we will double check, and then we will turn on the power and leave it for running of the gel until the dye has migrated up to appropriate distance. This is the whole setup. Once we are done, this will run here. Okay, and around we will wait for 3/4 run of the sample, so that after that we will stop the power supply and we can see the pattern. So when we are loading the sample, the gel created on the migration of the gel, you can see the migration of the DNA, that will be, as we have seen earlier in the introduction, that it is a negatively charged molecule, so it will migrate towards the positive charge. Okay, now when you see it from the top view, it is like this. Okay, so here you can see. Now this is the whole overall diagram which is going to show you, and you will get a proper idea that what all is happening. Here we have added the DNA loading sample. Okay, here we have added the sample. This is the whole gel on which buffer is there. We have loaded the sample, put the buffer, applied the field, and applied the field. After the field application, the bands will start separating. So the bands will be coming like this. More the molecular weight, less distance they will travel. And like this, here you can see the band which has traveled farthest is the lightest DNA. Okay, so this way we can see the different type of bands, and here we have used the blue color dye, so the bands of the color of the bands will be blue. Now how to observe that what is the size of the DNA? Okay, so for this we are going to see that here we have already marker DNA we have put in the agarose gel. So these are the marker DNA of known base pairs. Okay, known size. So once these known sizes ladder is there, this is called as DNA ladder also. So once these known bands we are seeing on the gel, with this reference, with this standard, we can estimate the size of unknown sample. Okay, so this way we can see the bands, and under the transilluminator we will see the different type of bands, how it is observed. Okay, so at the end what we are how we are going to observe the result. So observation of the result will be done after the removal of the gel from the gel tray and expose the gel to the UV light. So due to presence of ethidium bromide, the bands will be properly visualized, and that is most commonly done using the UV transilluminator. Now how the bands are visualized, how we can see the bands. So this figure will show the different type of bands. So this way we are getting our bands, and we can estimate with the reference ladder, with the standard ladder, we can know that what is the size of our DNA sample. We can compare it with the ladder, DNA ladder, and then we can say that yes, this is the size of my DNA sample. So this is the whole experiment in which the electrophoresis has taken place, and the DNA molecule migrated from negative to positive, and with the reference DNA ladder and on the observation under the transilluminator, we can see the bands and we can estimate their size. So this is all about the experiment. Thank you.